Okay, but here's old Koichi asking where the hell he is. And then, here's this guy who's gonna explain the story of human extermination. Old Human Extinction Explained. So, this is the Lime Barrel cyber world. You're making direct contact with the Lime Barrel now. Got one horn and two horn, you see. You're... I'm Nano, and I'm Machine. Now, let's learn about the extinction of mankind. You and we, the microscopical mechanical life forms. Yay! The extinction of mankind. I've got a lot of model kits, yeah. Yeah, let me turn that down a bit. It's because I'm a bit excited. But yeah, let's learn about this. Naze Nani Nadesco, but nano machines. So, the extinction of mankind. It all started with a certain scientist who succeeded in making nanomachines a reality. Nanomachines, as in the things used to turn someone into a factor? Bingo! And it's by being implanted with nanomachines that a factor gains its superhuman abilities. Mind you, they were originally invented to heal illness and injuries. And thanks to nanomachines, humans achieved a state where they were practically immortal. The long-lasting dream of eternal life had become real for mankind. They no longer had any fear of death. What do you think happened next? Well, if they couldn't die, then I guess they wouldn't have to fight over a lot of stuff. Then the world would be at peace, right? Oh, yes, it was very peaceful. Very peaceful. So peaceful that people lost their imagination. And that led to the extinction of mankind. Wait, back up there. Why would peace cause people to lose their imagination? And how would that make humanity go extinct? And then here's some mysterious people. Imagination is what makes humans human. And if humans cease to be human, then they can no longer exist. Nature does not allow such an abnormality. Who the heck? I'm the one guilty of inventing the nanomachines of the Machina, and of bringing about the extinction of mankind. I am Amagatsu Kizaki. Wait, you're Kizaki's dad, but you look just like... I figured I should assume a form around your age if we're going to have this talk. Come with me, there's something I want you to see. So here's a bunch of Machina having a big fight. But that's... What the fuck does that even mean? Listen, it means exactly what he said, okay? That with no imagination, nature, with humanity went away. That's... After mankind went extinct, the Machina suddenly started fighting one another. And then there's a cool big 2-page spread of all these fellas hanging out. Those are Vardants. There's so many, what's going on? Their master's gone. This was the ultimate fate of those oh so foolishly pure machines. Why are the Machina fighting each other? As you already know, the Machina's core principle is they must prioritize human life above anything else. And with said human life gone, the Machinas tried to become human themselves. They tried to become human? Yeah, since the dawn of time, mankind has evolved by thinking of ways to avoid death. It was through that primordial fear of death that humans obtained their imagination. And it's imagination that makes humans human. What do you suppose the Machinas would do in order to become human? They would make themselves imagine their own deaths. Precisely. In essence, this war you're seeing was a ritual through which the Machinas would comprehend death, attain imagination, and become human. I agree with this ellipses. Now, let's go back a little bit in time. And so here's our Kato, we know this already. No, I can't do it. Is that kid? Mm-hmm. He's Sataka Kato, long before he became the commander of the Kato organization. He worked as my assistant back then, though he had all the makings of a brilliant scientist himself. He was your assistant? And the one he's pointing a gun at is me, Professor Amagatsu Kizaki. I asked him to kill me so that I'd become the Lime Barrel's factor. Please, Kato. It has to be done. But how? How do you expect me to just kill you, Professor? I understand it's a very cruel request I'm making of you, but I can't trust anyone but you to see it done. It won't be long before There's no telling when the suicide switch inside me will flip. Suicide switch? I told you, no? Nature does not allow abnormalities such as humans who've ceased to be humans to exist. And then... Oh, fucking nano. The humans who no longer felt any fear of death, who'd lost their imagination, all committed suicide, one by one. Suicide? That was the cause of the extinction of mankind. Commit suicide if you've lost your imagination. The simple programs coded into our very DNA. Coded? Coded? Then who put it there? Even I don't know our origin as a species, so I couldn't tell you. This could well be God's handiwork, after he was finished creating us. God? So, wild. Please, Kato, don't give me a chance to kill myself as well. Professor, I want you to know that bringing you into our family has given me so much joy. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Professor, I... Blammo. And so, I became the Lime Barrel's factor. Can I ask you something? Why did you do it? Why'd go that far to become a factor? I did it. To destroy the world. Little idiotic as all fuck. Yes! It's good shit. To destroy the world? What do you mean? There's no need for you to understand. Wait, what the? Just what are you trying to accomplish with this? Isn't it obvious? All I want is to save humanity. What humanity? The one from the area you lived in? They're not even here anymore. I don't know how you and the Lime Barrel wound up in our time, but we're fighting for the era we live in. For our present. That's not your time anymore. The humanity I work to save is already gone? Hey, what's... Looks like my time is almost up. It's just collapsed on the floor. Your time? The repeated battles and the wounds I have suffered from the compulsory teleports have taken their toll. In truth, there isn't much left in my body anymore. Wait, but you're the Lime Barrel's factor, right? If you die, won't the Lime Barrel... No, I'll pass everything on to my daughter. To Emmy. To Kizaki? You kidding me? You're gonna make her go through the same thing? How can you turn your daughter into a tool of war? You can't save the world with ideology. No, saving the world's impossible only when you don't have any ideals to believe in. Nani? I get it now. You don't have any ideals of your own. All you felt was despair, and that's why you wanted to destroy the world. The only reason you couldn't save humanity was you! I was the reason why I couldn't save them? Was there anyone like me in the area you lived in? Were there people who'd fight for the same reasons as you? And then you see a picture of a bunch of people that are very similar. And then, you're really something. Not once did I imagine someone who thought like that could actually exist. I see. I can save our world because there was no one like you around. You telling me you can succeed where I couldn't then? You take the weight of the entire world onto your shoulders? I've been carrying that weight for a long time now. It's about the answer I'd expect. And if you say that much, then I suppose I've nothing to worry about. And then... It's time we bid each other farewell. Koichi, so many see in you a champion of justice. May I do the same? Mr. Hamagatsu. Humans cannot create their fates, but they can still choose which one to follow. It's taken me until now to finally realize that. Thank you, Koichi. Wait, I still have more! Give my regards to Emmy. And then, so that was a vision quest. But what kind of things did he imagine from within the Lime Barrel? He lost his body, but still tried to save the world. What kind of dreams would a man like that have? I wanted to show what I could do. There's so much I still wanted to ask him, but he was no longer here. And then here we are back in Judah. And well, that's everything he told me inside the Lime Barrel. So, the reason why humanity goes extinct is because they all killed themselves? And Major Richard came to our time with Saya in a bid to try and stop that future from happening? Just as Professor Amagatsu took Kizaki and came here from the future. With two of them aboard the Lime Barrel. Yeah, so the plot is... people became immortal because of nanomachines, and then they got really bored and killed themselves. Then Sai. Then, doesn't that mean Kizaki and Kato were born in the future? And... Yep. Likely also my case. But, I wonder, if all Machinas from the future and teleported through time to come here, then why did they arrive scattered all across the ages? And then Domyoji. Yeah, there's a big gap between each of their arrivals. For instance, Sobi's talisman has been around for centuries, while Kujo's painkiller is from over 2,000 years ago. Messiah, how did you and Major Richard make it to this era? I don't actually remember. You don't? By the time I woke up, we'd already crossed over. though the Major did say it was chance that led us here. Simply put then, the time travel method uses extremely erratic and doesn't allow for one to specify the desired destination? Rachel, do you have anything to add? Well, time travel is still very much a theoretical proposition right now, so I can't really give you much. I'm more concerned with the line barrel, to be honest. Something bad happened due to Amagatsu's death? More like I expected something bad to happen. The original factor has died, but nothing happens to the line barrel, Koichi, or Emi. You're right, the Maka and all its factors share the same life. Only one answer I can think of for this. Koichi's 100% inherited the line barrel from Amagatsu Kizaki. Inherited? How? Please tell us, Rachel. But all things considered, it's very likely Amagatsu joined with the line barrel's computer, and if he acknowledged Koichi as his successor and passed the line barrel on to him, that would mean the line barrel and Hayase are now one and the same. What do you mean? I think it's about a similar case to Joe and Tobikage. Us? It's like when you two fuse together, which allows you to both display all your dormant power. I mean, Joe does get fucking ripped, but alright. And when Koichi goes aboard the line barrel now, same thing happens, yes. In other words, our Koichi is far from the everyday factor anymore. He's a superboy. Mr. Ishigami, I have a question to ask. Shoot. In your eyes, was Hayase inheriting the line barrel from Amagatsu pure happenstance, or was it one of your necessary events? Well, I'd rather not say. And why is that? Because if I did, it might change events down the road, and I'd prefer to avoid that. I see. Shall I ask you of something else then? We've made several choices throughout our past struggles. Say it had been chosen different paths to follow, would that have resulted in more or less sacrifices? I'll leave that to your imagination. Still evading the subject? You know everything, yet you tell us nothing. How many lives will you toy with before you're satisfied? Brother. And then, you lack maturity, Sun Chuan. What? Those who have perished those who have perished all chose their fates leading to that point, and as they left this mortal coil, they entrusted their cause to those who remained. Ishigami did not determine their deaths to be; their own wills made it so. Fucking Sao. And we're supposed to simply tread over their lost lives? Ideals demand sacrifice. It is folly to attempt to see them through without. And let me tell you where you can shove your brand of ideals. And then Liu-bei. That's enough, your bickering won't help in the slightest. Then, where do you stand on this, Liu-bei? What's your opinion? And so, we don't actually split off, it just changes the thing and what you have to do to get a secret, but it's mostly the same. And top option is agree with Sao, bottom one is the Sun Chuan. But I believe the picking the Sao one is the good one. Yeah. So we'll do the Sao one. Toto. So let's agree with Sao then. Sun-chan, I understand how you feel. However, I do not believe those who have died simply erred in the choices they made. Liu-bei. Though they sacrificed themselves, every last one of them wished their spirits to live on in those who remained. Do you not think Lord Sun-jian and Sun-sei also felt that way? And then if you do Sun-chuan, he's like, I can't accept making a stepping stone out of anyone's life to secure the future. And then Sao-sao's like, you fucking idiot. But Captain Jeffrey, Miss Ram is sending an urgent transmission. From Ram? Alright, put her through. Guys, we got big trouble. Cheryl was... What happened? It's... So cut to some shit. Is Isabel Cronkite though? President Howard, is this really how you'll deal with Cheryl Nome? Nome? Yes, it is. We're transferring her to Alcatraz, a penitentiary famous for housing only the worst of the worst. She's a citizen of the Galaxy Fleet, so why imprison her on Earth? Because of the grave crimes she's committed affected not only us, but Earth as well. She intentionally beckoned the Vajra, the enemies of all humanity, into this world, and that deed could not go unanswered. Cheryl Nome beckoned the Vajra? That's right. It's with a heavy heart that we do this, but the frontier government has decided that she is to be put to death. Death! That's jacked up. And then, in the little prison visiting place in Alcatraz. You got 5 minutes, understand? Yeah. Number 107, in you come. Yes, Cheryl. Cheryl? Ranker? What are you doing here? I just wanted to speak to you for a bit. Nothing to say to you. God, take me back to my cell. You just gonna run? Cheryl, there are so many people who still believe in you. Like Alto and all your fans. I didn't ask you to come here and feed me niceties. I'm the galactic fairy or anything of the sort. I'm just a sad excuse of a person. I always thought you were stronger than this, Cheryl. I remember what I felt when you sung with me during the battle with the Vajra. That's when I felt that you were also lonely. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken, but I couldn't help but thinking of how amazing you were. How you carried on singing, despite the loneliness and sadness you felt. And singing with you also helped me feel like I wasn't alone. Ranka. I'm sorry for this, but there's only one last thing I want to ask. I want you to tell me the truth. Do you love Alto? I do. I love him as much as you do. But won't be long before I'm dead, so I want you to keep that between us. Cheryl. That's weird. And then here we are in old San Francisco. So here's I. Pee. What is it, Icon? Are you trying to make me feel better? Pee pee. And then keep walking and listen to me. Easy, Rankily. I've something I need to tell you. Brera? Cheryl will die soon. Her vocal cords are rife with V-type infection and she refuses to remove them. Even if her death sentence isn't carried out, she will not last for long. V-type infection? Cheryl? Yes, she was of no further use to the frontier, so they had her arrested. And that's where you come in. You're the only other one than her that can contract the Vajra, so the frontier will be looking to use you as their new anti-Vajra weapon. Anti-Vajra weapon? You're infected by the Vajra's fold bacteria while in your mother's womb. That made you naturally immune to them and gave you the ability to control the Vajra. But my mother, how do you know about that? 11 years ago, after Gallia 4 fell to the Vajra, the Galaxy Fleet found and rescued me from the brink of death. Gallia 4? That's right, Ranka. I'm your older brother. Metal Gear? I mean, yeah, like that's the deal, right? And hey, Lena's got a little updatey thing. Nice.